What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Best Ball Mania 5 draft. I'm in the 106. We're going to be going to Monra. It is May 31st, and the most recent OTA buzz is JSN is a different player year 2 now. Apparently, he's been practicing harder, etc. He looks better since his wrist injury is healed. There's a look. Who we go here? I mean, man, you could argue Debo, you could argue Collins, you could argue HN. I don't hate any of them. I'm going to give Debo the tiebreaker because of week 17. Week 17, it is Lions versus 49ers. I definitely want to have a premium part of that stack, of that game stack. Potentially. Potential premium game stack will always be the tiebreaker for me if I really don't feel any certain way towards either of the players. Devonta Smith going at the 211. I mean, his ADP is 30. I've been seeing a lot. I mean, he's probably going to set up Jalen Hurts here then. What's Hurts ADP now? 37? I mean, yeah. I could totally see him going Hurts here. It's interesting to see if he doesn't, what he'll do instead. I more than anything want to pick HN because I think he's best player available. Not really anyone with his ceiling in this range on the board. He is my hero RB target for sure. We're just seeing a receiver run go off here. This is crazy. We still have A-Chain, Kyron Diggs on the board. It's likely we get one of them because people love sipping the neighbor's juice. The neighbor's juice is, I get it. I get it. I personally am not sipping it that much, but I understand the love. I understand the love. Danny Dimes, I can't do it. I can't do the Danny Dimes. It's just not happening for me. So are we going to see a Kyron fall here? We are. I mean, pick 30? Are we for real? I think it just has to be Kyron. I think it makes too much sense. We are on the clock here at pick 43. It's a tough spot for me. I think I go Josh Jacobs here. He's just who I think I should go. It's either him or Amari Cooper. So where these ADPs started to fall, is there any chance he makes it back to us? I'm just down to have an absurd amount of Xavier Worthy in this range. I don't care. I don't care. His ADP has been at 57 in BBM. It's now at 62. And the reason that it has moved up and down are for like Rashee Rice. Is it because of Rashee Rice? Because for the non-knowers out there, I mean, like, are we seriously gonna every single worthy, we will have the Xavier Worthy discussion. Every single video, we will have the Xavier Worthy discussion. He posted 1,000 receiving yards as a true freshman. Ran the fastest 40 combine time in history. And got drafted, trading up for him to play with Patrick Mahomes. He's the highest draft capital they have spent on offense since Patrick Mahomes. Let's put our thinking caps on. Okay, let's break this really, really down. Rashee Rice is getting suspended. He can't get around that. Rashee Rice will get suspended. How long? Who knows? But I would bet on for multiple of the first few weeks. Yes, let's go. Okay. Let's go. We got Jordan Addison. That's huge. I was really hoping to get Jordan Addison here because we get a great fourth receiver. And on top of that, we get some more week 17 correlation with Josh Jacobs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're definitely eyeing up JSN, 8 picks away. That's 78 here. Will he make it there? Who knows? His ADP's starting to climb, man. May 31st, boys. JSN's ADP, 78.5. I think he'll be going in this range by the end of the year. Like back half of this range. 59, 60. He was going there last year. He was literally going there last year. Why has he fallen? Because he fucking burned all of you. That's why. That's why. Me included. Me included. Fellas, don't. I'm not trying to take this out on everyone. I'm just saying we got played last year. We got played. It is what it is. But different situation. Very different situation. Them bringing in one of the most pass prolific offensive coordinators in college history can't be anything other than bullish for the receivers in Seattle. And JSN, a year 2 player who he had to play against in college, I think he's going to know how to use him, man. He kind of got burned by him. So, I mean, Kamara or JSN we're just stoked for. D-Hop I'm pretty excited about too. I've heard really good murmurs about how high tempo that offense is supposed to be this year. Sees Amir White go off the board. Everyone knows we love that pick. And then we get JSN. We get JSN. God damn, it feels good to be us right now. And I think one of the knocks against Xavier Worthy and why he didn't go higher is strictly due to his college stats. Like the raw stats in terms of like receptions, yards. Like the very, very face value stats, not the advanced metrics, not the XYZ. I truly believe that's the only reason Xavier Worthy's stock was so low, because he can do everything. He really can do everything. And this is definitely an opinion of mine, but I definitely believe it to ring true more often than not. And a player with Xavier Worthy's profile, it's really hard for them to succeed and reach their full ceiling at the college level just due to how difficult they are to throw to. Like, he's so fast, it's kind of hard to time it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you literally don't have any practice throwing to a player that fast downfield. Like, you just hope to throw the ball in front of them, and then you time it right? Obviously, you have practice reps with them. But what I'm saying is it's really hard for someone like Jamar Chase and Xavier Worthy to win at the next level in college if you don't have a Joe Burrow with you. And Xavier Worthy's quarterback was nowhere near a Joe Burrow. Nowhere near. We do see J-Mo go off the board. A tad sad. Here's infinite value here. This is crazy. Zach Moss, Tony Pollard, Jonathan Brooks, any of the receivers. Probably going RB here. Maybe Brock Bowers, though. Let's go Jonathan Brooks here. We'll go Jonathan Brooks. He's someone that should be a draft riser. He's someone that should be a training camp riser for sure. Like during training camp, I assume like if we get reports back that he is rehabbing perfectly fine and that he will be ready for week 1, the second that we get a report that Jonathan Brooks is going to be ready for week 1, his ADP is going to go up so much because, I mean, like, what's Chuba's ADP right now? Should have narrowed it down further. His ADP is 173. Like, how much more the market is going to bake in what we're projecting Jonathan Brooks to do if healthy? See, it seems to be like, I think we're pretty far off. Like Jonathan Brooks, his true value, it's probably what, like behind Aaron Jones? ADP wise. But maybe it's not supposed to be ahead of. But that's, I don't know, man. Like, he really has an Alvin Kamara type ceiling if they use him like that. It's all just how do they use him. And this is the staff that did not draft Chuba, and they drafted Jonathan Brooks. So, who knows? I think I'm definitely going to take Brock Purdy here. Maybe. What's Jared's ADP? What's actually Jared's current ADP? 122. Oh, never mind. We actually we totally don't need to take him here. Wait, Brock. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, oh my god. Wait, 102 Brock Bowers? Also, at this point in time, there have been murmurs that the Raiders are going to be giving X amount of handoffs to Brock Bowers, which is very exciting. You just gotta be excited about that. That's just crazy. Like, I can't believe we're gonna see a tight end take handoffs next year. We're going to see a tight end take handoffs next year. Where from? Dude, I like imagine he just lines up at halfback. That's fucking illegal, dude, you know? That's like some Taysom Hill shit, but it's Brock Bowers. Like, imagine getting Taysom Hill that you knew was going to get Taysom Hill usage. Like, okay. If you don't understand the Brock Bowers hype and why you should be doing everything in your power to get as much Brock Bowers as possible, let me sell you. Let me sell you on some Brock Bowers real quick. Lad McConkey, who is getting drafted 2.5 rounds ahead of him, couldn't produce to a great extent in college because of how much targets Brock Bowers was soaking up. Fact. Brock Bowers was the target hog on that offense. Devontae Adams, declining. He's hit the age of decline. He is exiting his prime. If you, there was a chart I saw recently showing Devontae Adams' points per game, and it was just charting his points per game on the Packers, and then it peaked in season 1 with the Raiders with Derek Carr. Derek Carr leaves, his points go down, And then, I mean, dude, last year was brutal. Last year was brutal for Devontae in terms of the graph. That was the biggest dip he's had in his career. And next year, they didn't draft a new QB, man. They didn't draft a new QB. And for Devontae Adams, who is a declining profile, the routes that he's running, if it's a 2.00 yards per route run, I mean, man, like how often is he going to be getting in the ball in advantageous spots? He wasn't banged up that much last year and only had 4 wide receiver 1 eligible weeks being in the top 12. So it's something I can't get that excited about. So when you draft someone like Brock Bowers at pick 15 and then are telling me you're going to give him handoffs on top of what already will be the tight end 1 role / the Mark Andrews role / who fucking knows? It's just exciting. Like, imagine Taysom Hill and Mark Andrews rolled up into the same player. That's potentially what we're getting. Isn't that insane? Like, how can you not get a little excited for that? So this dude has AR and Sam Laporta, so I don't really feel like taking that chance. We will be going Jared Goff. Got a little 1-3-5-1. Kyron, Josh, Jonathan. Solid RB room. The type of RB room where I can probably stop with 5. I can go a little 2-5-8-3 here. I think that's what I'm lining up to do. I don't know. We'll see. Because I really like the receivers to the point where I don't know if I need 8 receivers. Like, am I really taking 3 more receivers in this draft? I'm at least taking 2. But am I taking a 3rd more? I don't know. Because that's the hard part of, like, it's a lot harder for a receiver in the range of 200 to pay off his value than an RB, because for a receiver, you need to be good. Like, you need to be good, period. Even if you are lucky enough for injuries to fall your way where you're just getting time now, you still need to be good at football. For RBs, dude, you can be subpar and still be fucking, like, a great running back in terms of fantasy points. Like, if you just fall into the end zone and got, like, 15 carries that game, that's probably 10 fantasy points. Like, you know? But for a receiver to find 10 fantasy points, you got to put in some fucking work. Like, you have to produce. That's either, like, an MVS type catch maybe, but usually you have to produce. So picking an 8th receiver, man, I mean, like, we're probably just going 2-6-7-3, the classic. I mean, unless this is the rare 3-5-8-3, where we pick a combination of 6 QBs and tight ends because of how confident we feel in our RB and receiver room. The data on that shows that those advance rates are not that good. On those teams, the advance rates are not that good. I want Blake Corum here for sure. Austin Eckler goes. Nice. Is there any receiver I potentially want here? I mean, there's, like, Josh Downs. Dontavian Wicks is almost, wow. He's almost hitting his value for me. Jermaine Burns on a fucking legacy climb. I mean, it's either, is it Blake Corum? No, it's probably not Blake Corum. It's probably Josh Downs. What am I thinking? I have Kyron. Why would I pick Blake Corum? I'm betting on Kyron, who I pick in the 3rd round, and then I pick Blake Corum in the 11th round. That doesn't really add up to me. Obviously, elite handcuff. Blake Corum is probably what you would describe in years past as elite handcuff, where Kyron Williams goes down, and guess what? Now he's in line for all of the work. There's not many players like that in the NFL. Like, I feel like the only other maybe elite handcuff would be potentially rookie Marshawn Lloyd, maybe Zach Charbonnet. Not many, though. Not many. Blake's one of them. But I don't want to be taking an elite handcuff with one of my very valuable picks still. It's a little too pricey for our taste. I mean, it's really tragic that in the last 2 or 3 rooms I've done, I've seen Tua go at 130 something, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like Tua, yes, is a statue. Tua is a statue. But you fuckers are out here drafting CJ Stroud in the fucking 50s. Is he not a statue? Are they hello? Like, I understand it's year 2 CJ Stroud. And they added Stephon Diggs. And they added Joe Mixon. Okay? It's a very big upgrade. But Tua was playing with like a very good Tyreek Hill last year, but Jalen Waddle, was never at more than 70% the entire year. And when he was on the field, you could see it, man. Jalen Waddle was not 100% last year at all, anywhere near it. So I don't think there should be that much of a difference in ADP between Tua and Stroud. Obviously, if I was the ADP maker, I'm putting Stroud over Tua, and it's probably a 1 to 2 round difference. But the fact that you can get Tua, Stroud goes in the 4th round, Tua goes in the end of the 11th. 7 round difference? What? Like, CJ Stroud, to pay off that value as a statue, has to throw for around 5,000 yards. That's just what he has to do. Because his rushing upside isn't there. It's not like Mahomes where he has the sneaky fast upside. Dude, Stroud is also just a statue. He really does not move. So at our next pick here, we're definitely eyeing up. The shitty part here is that a lot of the RB2s I love, I went with their RB1 counterpart just because I'm a big fan of the running games at those teams. Very prolific running games. Cole Kmet or Pat Freiermuth. It's kind of a tough one for me. I think, man, it's Cole Kmet or Kendre Miller. The thing is do I think that both of the tight ends are going to be gone at 150? Because Kendre Miller will. What's the RB such past Kendre? Like, I have to go Kendre, I think. And then just hope one of these tight ends falls. No, I don't. I can just go Cole Kmet. I'm just tripping, y'all. I really want Kendre here. I really like Kendre. But getting this tight end value is very important, I think, because Cole Kmet is a premium tight end that could significantly outperform his ADP right here. It's like Freiermuth is option 2B on the Steelers pass catching wise, while Kmet is clear option number 4. But who's passing more? The Bears are gonna be passing a fuck ton more, man. Like, let's be real. Who's catching more touchdowns in the end zone? I'd bet on Cole Kmet. The thing that the Bears don't have, unless you consider Keenan Allen, which that's not really his job. Like, Cole Kmet is the biggest end zone target that the Bears have by far. Biggest, easily the biggest. So I think this year we'll see more Cole Kmet touchdowns. And yeah, I think he provides a very nice floor at tight end, along with giving us really good correlation all throughout the playoffs. Chicago players on this team hit all the right notes with playing Jordan Addison in week 15, playing our Detroit stack in week 16 and then closing it out by playing JSN in week 17. And then we see Friarmuth go 149, McCarthy go 148. That is that's something. Well, so now I guess we're going to be we're going running back here still. Do we go Jalen Wright? I think we go Jalen Wright. To me, I just assume that Jalen Wright is going to take over for Raheem Mostert. Like, let me paint the picture. Raheem Mostert gets injured, like always. And now suddenly Jalen Wright is our number 2 RB in the backfield. And if Mike McDaniel believes that Jalen Wright is good, which he is, then he should get some very quick opportunity on this offense to produce. And I like him. I like him a lot, man. I liked him a lot in college. I liked him a lot. So, JJ McCarthy going that early is obviously disgusting and sucks to be us. That being said, we will be going Captain Geno Smith with our pick. Six picks away. All 3 of these receivers are incredible. Down for all of them. Once you get past this range of receivers, it starts to get dicey. Like, because I love Luke McCaffrey, I love Javon Baker, and I love Demario Douglas. Demario Douglas is probably the biggest value on the board right now in general. Should be going that low. But once you get past these 3, it really does feel like you lose some true projectable upside at the receiver position, because all 3 of these players could easily outperform their ADP significantly, where they're at least the number 2 option on the team. All these people could be the number 2 option on their team easily. And I'm just saying that as a floor. Like, it's like what that Denver situation ends up being and how you play the Denver situation is pretty important, because one of them is just going to be incredible. Whether you think that's Marvin Mims or Troy Franklin, one of them is most likely just going to be very good. Don't go Roman Wilson here. Nice. Is there any worry about someone taking Geno? I probably just have to like toe the line there. The DK person's right behind me. It shouldn't happen. I mean, what about the Tyler Lockett person though? He's only got 1 QB, man. Fuck. Whatever. I'm doing it. I don't care. I don't care. If Ruby 1K takes my Geno, I'll just be a little sad. It's not a big deal. But our next pivot at QB is probably Russell Wilson / Justin Fields, which does not feel good. I don't like getting that deep in the tank. I really like Bo Nix and taking the Bo Nix backstacks. I think that's a very strong play, because his correlated upside is very high. Like Bo Nix might be the most undervalued player on the board right now. He's a starting quarterback that is, unless god awful, going to be starting in week 17. So, like I understand the love for Sean Payton's running games and the dislike for his passing offenses, but they're not the worst passing offense in the league. And even if they are, he shouldn't be going in the last round / undrafted. That's ridiculous for a starting quarterback. He's too much of a value. Ruby goes Baker. Hey, he slams Baker and Gino. Dude, don't do it, Ruby. Ruby, don't do it, brother. Please do not do that. K. Dotton. Okay. So the good old 2292 with Nick Chubb as his second RB. Christian McCaffrey here, RB. This man has taste. That man has taste. Oh, Bucky Irving goes. It's not like I was picking Bucky Irving over Gino here, because that's just a little irresponsible. But I mean, all right. So we are praying that we get Roshan Johnson. Ultra estimate undergoes need scope 15 hours ago. I mean, we get Roshan Johnson here. Who's excited? Who is excited? Real talk, though, is it Roshan or Deontay Foreman? I mean, with what I think about the Bears, it's probably Roshan Johnson. And what I think about DeAndre Swift, it's Roshan Johnson. Not to disrespect Khalil Herbert, fellas. Not to disrespect Khalil Herbert. That's a dog right there, but I don't. I think that Roshan is very, very likely to be the third down back in this room. He is by far their best pass blocker. And for Caleb, that's exactly, I'd imagine, what they're looking for in the third down back is they're just looking for someone for like 3 out of 4 times just to sit back there and make sure Caleb doesn't get hit. And then, maybe run a little shitty out route. Like Roshan could do that. Like he does that the best on the Bears. And his fantasy points per opportunity last year is very encouraging because of how many touchdowns he didn't score. His fantasy points per opportunity was almost running back 1 territory, and he had 2 touchdowns and was used in very, very poor ways that it's going to be hard for him to produce for himself and the offense with the ways he was getting used last year. So I imagine that this year we're going to see a different Roshan. We're going to see a different Roshan. We can assume the Bears are going to be wanting to pass a lot. So we got the pick of the litter here. I'm a big, big, big Ultra Estimate fan. Oh man. Like at this point in time, I think it's Tank Bigsby. Just off of coach speak alone. I have to. Like it's either him or Dylan Loeb. And let me give you the reasoning. Tank Bigsby, I really don't believe in. But it seems like the coaching staff does. And sometimes you just need to shut your eyes and keep your ears open because, like, Rashad White's peripherals were so bad going into last year, and his advanced metrics were not good. They really were. A lot of it was bad. And there is a lot of people this year that are like, yo, we should not be on Rashad White. He was overvalued last year, is really overvalued this year. He just got there on volume alone. And it's like, so to wrap up our draft, we have Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Brooks, Jalen Wright, Roshan Johnson, and Tank Bigsby. Then we got Monroe St. Brown, Debo Samuel, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Josh Downs, and Roman Wilson. Then at tight end, we got Brock Bowers, Cole Kmet, and Chig Okonkwo. Definitely a fan of the team. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Catch y'all later.